we are only going to talk what are the things to read in theory and from where to read, and definitely we'll start only with endocrine today. Now, the first thing before, if I'm asked about that, where am I going to read my topics for the DNB and an MS examination? The only thing that I can tell a postgraduate is that a lot has changed in the last around 10 years. Believe me. The first thing is that you get a good amount of information which is there on the internet. This will be for the last 10 years. This has been now the standard of care that we always search for whenever we have anything to search for. But there is one statutory caution to remember. Everything that you see on the internet, believe me, around 50% or more is something that is not worth trusting, and neither can it be reproduced in an examination or should be used for your knowledge. But the rest of the 50% about whatever you read is something that is worth understanding. And when you talk about understanding, now, as I have said, particularly remember topics that includes recent advances, because in the last around 5 years, what has been seen is that if you see the question papers of the national board or say the MS examinations of different universities, the recent advances have come in a big way in your examinations, and more or less you are asked about multiple questions on recent advances and their applications. Now, what we'll start is that when I talk about thyroid, where to read the thyroid from, definitely before I say where to read what topics are from, all of us have our own likings. Definitely, there can be some books, there can be some notes that you always loved during your MBBS days. There can be some teacher that who taught you some topic and you really remember his teachings. So this is not an absolute that this what are we going to follow, but this is what I will be following if I am a student ever again, and well, I am always learning. So if you talk about thyroid, remember that I will start by reading Bailey and Love. Hello, am I audible, everyone? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, believe me, I will start by reading Bailey and Love. What I will do is that I will read the complete chapter, and I am, uh, I'm narrating this in a opinion that you have read nothing with this order. Now, the first book that I will be reading is Bailey and Love in thyroid, and after you have read Bailey and Love, there are areas that you are not very happy with because you need your hunger for knowledge is growing, particularly in the area of cancers. But overall, you have a gross idea, particularly in areas like solitary thyroid nodule, nodularity of the thyroid, and some parts of thyrotoxicosis are areas that you have understood that yes, there is something in Bailey Love that is worth knowing. Belly love is also good for knowing about the anatomy of the thyroid, because those couple of lines that Love and Bailey states are important to have a first impression. Now, after Bailey Love, the second line of reading should always be Sabiston, because there is a big frenzy about everyone talking about SWOTs, and I'm coming to SWOTs in that. Now, when I talk about Sabiston 21st, I think all of you have Sabiston 21st by this time. It is always good to know about the ATA guidelines that Sabiston mentions. What is more important is to talk about the Bethesda and what are the characteristics of cancer, and all thyroid cancers to start with. I will always read very well from Sabiston. I believe Sabiston gives more or less a good comprehensive, at least these chapters. The evaluation of a thyroid nodule, the TIRADS or the American Thyroid Association ultrasound grading, and then the cancers of the various sorts are more or less good. What Sabiston also gives you is the pathogenesis, that is the molecular pathways of a thyroid cancer, which is very well described in Sabiston and is important for your writing a 5 marks note. Now, when I have SWOTs with me, what I will like to read from SWOTs are two main topics. One is thyrotoxicosis, which is somewhat given well in SWOTs. Now, I do not say very well, but I say good enough. And there is something called as minimally invasive thyroid surgery, which Sabiston does not maintain that great, but minimally invasive thyroid surgery is something that more or less is well described. Now again, coming to anatomy in Sabiston and this, if I am more interested, now anatomy should again be read from both the books. I feel Sabiston gives a good account of the recurrent laryngeal nerve, particularly with a diagram, the non-recurrent laryngeal nerve. And when I talk about the anatomy of the external laryngeal nerve, I will read about Swartz, which gives the Cernia classification. So by this time, ladies and gentlemen, you must have understood that there is no single book in a postgraduate arena that can cater to all your needs until unless you design one. Okay, it is not. Now, beyond these things that you have read, I will strongly recommend reading NCCN, the 21 edition, for the DTC follow-up. And I'm not telling you to read everything. I'm telling you to read only the follow-up of DTC, which is beautifully summarized in NCCN, and everything that you wanted, every point that you wanted to be summarized without searching the literature, finding a solid writable approach in an exam, that is NCCN. Only the DTC follow-up part, that is around 2 to 3 pages with an algorithm, and that's pretty nice to talk about. Now, when you talk about molecular markers, then I forget the recent advances or the Roshan Lal. I do not know which one, probably 38 recent advances, I'm not very sure of it, contained a chapter on molecular markers in thyroid cancer. Now, it is good enough to make a summary of the chapter and write that, but this can again be searched in the internet because there are multiple enough good articles nowadays that are available. Thyroiditis is not usually a short note. Now, when it comes to reading Indian books, you must be thinking about, why am I saying always Bailey, Sabi, Swartz? Why can't I read an Indian book? In Indian book, I found, out of comparing the contemporary books in surgery, the 5th edition, or technically the 4th edition of SRB, particularly in the chapter on thyroid, gives an excellent description on thyrotoxicosis, particularly all the treatments of thyrotoxicosis that you require for your examination, more or less has a good summary, except that it is not exactly in according to the ATA guidelines, and you should read the ATA guidelines 2015, more or less, particularly for updating your knowledge. But overall, the way SRB has presented, it is really a commendable effort to read about this. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is all about thyroid. Any questions that you have from this chapter before we go to the next one? Hello.
Sir, thyrotoxicosis, Schwartz or SRV?
Thyrotoxicosis?
Schwartz or SRV, which one?
Well, if you want one book, I will say read SRB. Because what SRB does is that SRB gives you more or less an undergraduate overview of the topic. Even if you knew about thyrotoxicosis, believe me, there are many things that your Indian examiners are still looking for. Example, the difference between primary and secondary thyrotoxicosis. Now, if you are mature enough, if you have read that topic multiple times and you need something more concrete, as I have said, ladies and gentlemen, you always start with Love and Bailey. Believe me, and at the end, what I was going to suggest is, please read Bailey Love again. And then after you have read this Bailey Love again, you will understand that, yes, whatever I read in the Bailey Love in the first attempt, everything has been summarized for me in Bailey Love. The only problem is that at the first look, you could not understand that part. Now, when I talk about other small chapters before I go to the breast, multiple endocrine neoplasia, I will blindly trust only one book, Sabiston. I will make a note out of Sabiston, and it is beautifully summarized. Endocrine pancreas, probably I felt the best written is always Sabiston. I did not find any other book to be as good as Sabiston. And for your NEET SS examinations, definitely these are the chapters that you cannot afford to miss from Sabiston. Without, you do not need to read any other second book in this one. Now, when it comes to parathyroid, I always have a weakness for reading Bailey Love. You must be wondering why not SABI. Some areas can be from SABISTAN, particularly the surgery like focused parathyroid surgery. But what I am more interested is about all and global overlook about the approach to parathyroidism. If I'm given a 10 marks question, particularly in primary parathyroidism or hyperparathyroidism, I feel Bailey Love, particularly the 27th Bailey, I'm talking about the 27th Bailey, has done an excellent chapter on parathyroid. If you have not read Bailey, believe me, you have missed something yet. So please read the 27th Bailey Parathyroid, and it is a summary of one among the best around the 4 or 5 endocrine books that ever exist. Now, followed by, if you talk about adrenal, well, people differ into what should be read in adrenal. I find SABI to be more or less complete, particularly the non-pheochromocytoma part is good enough in SABI, because these are areas that we are weak, like the Cushing syndrome and this part. Pheochromocytoma, more or less, is good in both SABI and Bailey. And this is a part that I will always strongly recommend you to complement reading from Bailey. Talk about breast. Now, this is a chapter that probably I will start by reading SABI. There are parts on benign breast disease which I would like to have from SRB. There are few things like an abscess, which are little old school, but is good described in SRB. Though I agree with you that things have changed a lot, like aspiration of breast abscesses should now be the treatment. But yes, overall, as I have said, when I talk about the benign diseases, this gives a good overview. What SABISTAN lacks again in benign breast disease is, if you are interested, you can read SWOTs in the benign breast disease, particularly the NDI. Rest of that CA breast part, it is more or less well summarized in SABISTAN. I could not, now if you want to talk about CA breast, because this is an important topic, I found that there are parts of NCCN, example being principles of surgery. I forgot the page number, which is around 2-page description in the NCCN PDF document. So just only the 2 pages. What are the principles of surgery? This is very well summarized into that. Sentinel lymph node biopsy. Well, that is something that there are many articles in the internet, but NCCN, the document part, gives more or less a good summary about all the recent trials, like the Sentina trial, etc., on recent trials that talk about what are the things that you should know. So now, talking about other advances in your early breast cancer, like Oncotype DX, like your TAILOR-X trials, etc. Again, I will believe in NCCN, because NCCN has changed a lot in this part. So this is what I will read. As I've said, in a postgraduate forum, there is no one single book that you can have for all things done. So there are parts of chapters in some books which are good. So probably when you have a class in your CCC, the teacher always has an attempt, I feel, to summarize the best of the things that are available. Okay, any more questions, queries,
Excuse
comments?
me, sir.
Yeah.
So benign breast disease, we have to read it from SRB.
SRB, particularly the abscess.
Okay,
Read
sir.
the
And
abscess
CA.
part.
Okay, sir. So and CA
CA,
breast
I
from.
always talk about SABI. SABI.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Right. Any more comments or queries or questions, please? Hello. Shoptik, are you there? Sir, recent advances,
Yes, sir.
Taylor Johnson and RLG. I will say always the last 3 are mandatory. Preferably the last 5. Last 3 are mandatory. And all your MS and DNB questions will be asked about in the last 3. So it is mandatory that you read this last 3. Taylor Johnson and the Rishandal Gupta. Okay, so no more comments. So please remember that you are reading for a postgraduate exams, or sorry, a postgraduate exit examination. There is no one single book that you can have. Daily Love alone is not sufficient because there are many chapters that needs really to be modified. And this is in my opinion, but there can be definitely many other books that are better than that. And beyond this, so this is, ladies and gentlemen, all about the endocrine part of the story. The next Tuesday we'll talk about GI.